I've been with my significant other for 9 years. He is the youngest of 5. His mother has custody of 9 of her grandchildren. His oldest sister has 5 kids, and she moved to Georgia about a year ago. She was having a hard time paying bills, so her mom, mother-in-law, and my significant other drove down to bring her and her children back to our home state, and she's been back for a week. I've been in contact with her because I know she's crowded where she is, because it's 4 adults and 14 kids. Well, her mom put her and her kids out in the rain, so my sister and I drove an hour to pick them up with the promise of gas. We never got it because we understood her situation. The mom put her out because she wouldn't give her more money and some other bull. Anyway, I let her and her clan come stay at my 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. I told her she can't stay long, so we have to figure some stuff out, but I wouldn't just leave them homeless. I laid out my rules. Clean up after yourselves. Don't eat our food. Please bathe, and be mindful of my puppy. Since they've been here, 3 days, they've managed to break my toilet, overflowed it twice. They threw their empty chip bags on the floor, candy wrappers, and a chocolate candy wrapper. That's rude in itself. But I have a dog, and she can't have any of that. Yesterday, I cleaned up every room in my house. I moved my son's bed and cleaned under it, refrigerator, back room, etc. Like deep, deep clean. Today, I left to do laundry, and when I came back, my house was a mess. My significant other was cooking, and she was sitting on the couch with her headphones in. I laid down because I have a raging headache, and I didn't want to react the wrong way. My boyfriend comes in and tells me, "Don't act like that because I missed you." And I got angry because I miss my house not being this damn dirty. No one could have expected me to come home and be happy about the state of my house. I told them to pick up the trash because it had been overturned, and they said, "Sorry, didn't notice," even though I watched everyone walk by it. I went outside to call my mom and vent, and my boyfriend told me I was being an a-hole, and it can be cleaned. It shouldn't have gotten to the state that it was in, and this is your house too. You should have known I would be pissed off. My sister said I was overreacting and just tell them to clean. But why should I? There are 2 other adults here, and the oldest child is 14, with my son being the youngest at 6. Am I being an a-hole? I took pics, but not sure if I can link it. And I just went to the bathroom, and there was poop on my toilet seat that I didn't notice until after I sat down. Also, after calmed down some, I explained why I was pissed, and she says, "Yeah, I've been getting on them about it." But have you? None of them are small children. I've been very vocal about my expectations, so what do I do next? I don't want them homeless. Kick them out with enough bus fare to get to the nearest homeless shelter. If your boyfriend objects, add some extra bus fare for him. So, what were you realistically expecting when you took in a homeless mother with 5 kids, who has definitely made a number of poor choices, doesn't have a job, any money, and seems rather content with the mess in her life? That she would respectfully have her clan in order, offering to help in the house? Not happening. It's amazing that you were concerned about her and went out of your way to do something, but by moving her in, you have made a terrible mistake in my opinion. Do you know how long she intends to stay? My guess, forever. She will not leave on her own, that's for sure. Eventually, you will have to kick her out, and you will be accused of being an a-hole. Even if she does find a job and there is light at the end of the tunnel, it will be too long before she's able to get back on her feet, and by then you will be at the end of your tether. Do not suck it up out of human courtesy, because it will soon bite you in the butt, big time. You need to set up a date for when she will be moving out, a clear date, with witnesses. Don't just mention it in passing. Both she and your boyfriend need to know that this is extremely temporary, as in a few more days temporary. Update. We had a talk about the house being filthy. Then it happened again. I left early and came back late, except the second time. I had to text to tell them to clean up, and got a confirmation, twice. Came back to a dirty house, and the response was, they did clean up. Well, why didn't they keep it clean? So we had another group meeting, kids included, and I told them again that I do not like dirt, and I won't be uncomfortable in my own house. Literally every single day I have to tell them to clean. Pick up your clothes. Don't leave your underwear in the bathroom. Don't leave your toothbrushes on the sink. Don't leave your towels in the shower. Don't piss or poop on my toilet seat. Don't leave food on the floor. Every single day. I complain that everyone has their own standards of clean, but mine is the way it has to be as long as they are here. The night before last, I asked them to come pick their clothes up off my son's bed floor, and everyone ignored me, so I told them I was putting it in the trash. She told them to sweep the living room, but yesterday, when I had company, I realized the floor was still dirty, So I started cleaning, and from under my couch came loads of food, clothes, shoes, underwear. Also found out she's been letting her daughter sleep on my couch, knowing she pees the bed. So the entire couch, inside the pillows as well, smells like old pee. On the end table next to the couch, someone has chewed bubblegum and sat it on the couch and the table. I'll admit, I was sleep deprived, but I may have overreacted a bit when her kids came. I told them they weren't allowed to touch the trash until their mom got home from work. They came in and put their dirty socks on the couch and dropped candy wrappers on the couch. They threw things on my son's room all over the floor. It was the last straw. I told her that she has until next Friday. She gets her first check to leave. I feel disrespected. They're too old for me to constantly repeat myself about cleaning. My son isn't the problem, because these are new issues. I created a cleanup chart for everyone. They're not allowed to eat or drink anywhere but the dining room on the floor. Then I went to sleep and woke up to a sink full of dishes that I'm leaving until everyone is home. I let it be known that this is the last time I will be ever speaking on this again. Update 2. Until today, I have 3 jars of change in my room that belongs to my son. In one jar was $24 of change. When I went to borrow $1, I counted and realized it was only $3.75 in there. They also cleaned the other jar out and left only pennies. Yesterday, I went to visit my dad's grave. It's a high-stress time for me, so obviously I'm super pissed about it. I asked the kids, and they immediately began to blame each other. Apparently, when I left yesterday, they came into my room and stole all of the money. I only recovered $15 of it. I immediately made them pack their stuff and leave. And I feel bad for the mom, because she truly has been trying to control them, but I can't take anymore. I literally raised money for them to get brand new coats, gloves, and scarves. I'm the one that cooks and does laundry. I'm the wrong person to steal from, and I just don't understand. There is a sense of relief by having them gone, but I feel like a huge B word. It's cold here, and I'm not sure where they are going, but it's not my problem, but I can't help but be concerned. I also broke up with my boyfriend, but he's on the lease, so he'll be here for 30 more days. I realized him and his sister was constantly making me the bad guy, and I was the only one complaining. Also, he waited until I went to sleep to say, "I'm going to pick up sister." When I told him not to bring her back here, he slammed the door and left. A few hours later, he came back with her and her children in tow, and basically told me she's a legal tenant as he is, and she has 30 days to vacate. Which I suppose is true, but why would anyone want to be where they aren't wanted? I usually have her kids from 3 to 6:30 every day, except yesterday. I left them home for an hour to go to the cemetery, which is when the money was stolen. Even their mom, who put her and her kids out, tried to guilt-trip me into letting them stay because it's cold, saying it's not their fault when it actually is. They aren't small children who don't know right from wrong. They are 14, 13, 12, 10, and 9. I told them that I will call the non-emergency line to file a report about the theft of my stuff, and now they're mad and their mom is constantly calling me. I really don't know what to do. How do I handle this? Also, since they've been here, I have a serious roach infestation, and when they left, I decided to clean so I could spray some more, and found dirty underwear under the couch, and a pile of food inside the couch. You let them walk all over you, and now they're complaining that you won't let it continue. Make it clear that you'll file charges for theft, and with CPS if they turn up on your doorstep again, no matter who lets them in. Block their mom's number. You need to charge them for theft, and you should call CPS, because the mother can't control them and needs help. The children need help. It sounds harsh, but maybe the children should be raised by someone else than their mother, or else they will end up badly. It might already be too late, but I would definitely call CPS. Update 3. My landlord did know they were here. She just didn't know they wouldn't leave, stayed this long. She's a super cool lady, and she told me to handle it how I see fit, since they would fall under my tendency. So I had my mom draft a rental agreement and she approved it. My monthly rent is $680, but I've always paid $800 so I can own it faster. My ex-boyfriend always paid a portion of that at $300, and then paid a utility bill in full along with internet. We were just having the sister pay what she can. The utilities went up drastically since they've been here, and I made her pay the $200 water bill last month. On to the rest. I don't want to make this too long. I presented them with a new lease since they insist on staying, and I told them rent and bills are due on the 1st and late on the 5th, or my landlord will start the eviction process. Rent for him is now $350, plus whatever the light bill plus a portion of the gas. Rent for her is $400, since it is 6 of them, plus the water bill. I'll pay the remaining amount towards rent and the gas bill, but I can't afford the internet, so it will be turned off, effective immediately. New rules. The children are not allowed to be here alone, so you must leave work early in order to meet them when they get here. Or my hourly fee of $40 per kid, per hour, is effective immediately, and that does not cover food, only a snack provided by you. Paid daily, or CPS will be called for abandonment, just like a school would. Helping with homework is now considered tutoring, and I have different rates for different subjects. My dishes, towels, tissue, soap are no longer communal and will be locked in my room. I will count and check daily. Laundry has to be done at least bi-weekly, as it will pile up. Cleaning has to be done daily, or everyone will be responsible for the cost of a housekeeper. The cost of an exterminator, bug removal, will be added after I find someone. I'm unable to get a mini fridge right now, but I'll be taking all of our food down to my mom's. I told them I spoke with an officer about the stolen money and will be going forth with charges. I lied, and the money was magically produced in seconds. All of it. They were pissed and said that was too much, and she would have to change her entire schedule. She can't produce that much money in a day. Blah, blah. When I pointed out that she should have money since she claims she has been saving, she backtracked. I went back to my room and heard her tell her kids to get their things. She told me she would be out by the 1st and had the nerve to ask me to be a reference. Should I be a reference? And should I charge her a prorated amount like an apartment complex would? Be a reference, so she's out of your hair more quickly. Don't charge her for the reference. She might not use it, and she'll be around longer. A bit of background. EA is a nun, but seems to think having taken a vow of poverty means her family must now supply her with the things she can't get for herself. For as long as I can remember, she's turned up at my parents' house to spend her holidays where my mom is supposed to wait on her hand and foot, because she is a guest and has demanded money and other material goods from my father, like mobile phones. In the time of unbreakable Nokias, when phones with built-in MP3 players were brand new technology, she demanded one from my father because another sister in her order had just been gifted one by her family, and she wanted one too. She would also overstuff herself at every meal because, according to her, she didn't get these things in her convent and would use this as a justification for basically attempting to eat all the food in the house during her stays. Which brings me to the story. This happened a few years ago. For context, I live with my parents because it's what we do in my country. I work Monday to Saturday, with Saturday being a half day, which it inevitably never is, and this was one of those days. I called my mom around 4:30 p.m., saying that I was done for the day and that I was coming home. My mom, being the kind soul she is, asks if I've had lunch, and I tell her that I have not. She tells me that the bananas that had been brought in a few days ago were getting overripe, and that she would make me some fritters with them, in an effort to keep me from eating unhealthy street food. I get home an hour later to find a single fritter and a very pissed off mom. Because she knew I would not eat the entire batch of fritters, she had put them on the table for tea time, and EA had eaten all of them. Mom had informed my dad and EA that I was coming home and that I had not eaten all day, and that she had made the fritters for me so that I would not starve till dinner, which we normally ate around 9:30, or fill the void with unhealthy food. She was really pissed because even after she took the plate with the fritters away from the table, EA still stole more from the kitchen, and Mom only managed to save the one by hiding it and saying they were over. As usual, EA's logic was she doesn't get fritters in the convent. So, tired as duck, me gets home at 5:30 and eats a single fritter. Sometimes it really is just not your day. Edit. So, my family and I are no longer in direct contact with EA. I only saw her again last year for her Golden Jubilee. Yep, she's been a nun for 50 years, with the whole family. She's pulled enough bull with her convent to have 0 leave, so she's not allowed to leave whichever house she's assigned to, except for her job. Also, she's apparently pissed with my father for saying no to her money demand once, so basically, I'm free of her nonsense. Remind her that greed and gluttony are sins.